In this video, we're going to show you how to install the driver's side rear brake flex hose on your Ford 500, located right behind your back wheel. If you have a hubcap, go ahead and pop that off. Using your 19mm socket, loosen and remove the lug nuts. With the lug nuts removed, grab the wheel, pull it off, and set it aside. Now you want to have a catch can or bucket underneath, some towels, because when you do remove this from the backside of the caliper, brake fluid is going to come out. Using your 14mm wrench, get that free. Now that we have our lower hose broken free, use a 13mm wrench on the top here. Want to loosen the hard line from the flex line. Go ahead and pop that out. Using a small pry bar, we're going to pull off the retainer clip holding the hose in place. It's pretty much shaped like a U. I'm just going to work that back and forth. There's that clip. Set that aside. With that separated, go ahead and continue to spin out the hose from the backside of the caliper. Line up our hose with our caliper. And let's go ahead and thread that in. Once that hose is threaded into the backside of the caliper, we can go ahead and snug that down. Use our 16mm wrench. I want to make sure that once that bottoms out, you give it a little bit more. On the top side, line that up. Now installing the hose here, there is a hex nut that needs to fit into this bracket. Once that lines up, you'll see the space there for your lock tab to go into. Tap that in, lock it into place. And you take your brake line here, line this up, and you want to start threading that in by hand first. And then once you get that caught, we'll go ahead and tighten it down with our wrench. And once that nut bottoms out, you want to snug that down. Go ahead and take a spray solvent. We want to go ahead and clean this. On the back side of the caliper here is a bleeder screw. I'm going to use an 11 deep socket. We want to loosen this. And what we're doing here is we're purging out any air bubbles that we created between the new line here coming through. So we're going to wait for fluid to to come out of this bleeder screw. And what this is what they call a gravity bleed. We still see some air bubbles coming out, so we're going to continue to let this bleed. No more air bubbles. Let's go ahead and tighten this down. Now once that bleeder screw snugs down, just give it a little bit more so it's bottomed out right there. Just that is it. You don't want to over tighten that because you can snap this off. Now if your vehicle has a rubber cap to go on here, you can go ahead and pop that on. Now that you have this done, go ahead and hop into the vehicle, pump up the brakes. You want to make sure that you have a solid pedal feel. If the brake pedal feels spongy, go ahead and start the brake bleeding process and go ahead and install your wheel and take it for a road test. Grab your wheel, line it up onto the wheel studs. Get all the lug nuts started by hand first. Once those are installed, I'm going to go ahead and snug them all down. Using your 19mm socket, let's go ahead and torque down the wheel to 95 foot-pounds. And if you're installing a hubcap, you want to look for the little notch on the bottom here that's going to fit the valve stem. Line that up and gently tap that cap into place, and you're all set.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.